Generating a single stunning AI image, that's honestly old news at this point. Today, the real frontier, the ultimate test, is creating an entire sequence of frames that tells a cohesive visual story without completely falling apart. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into how AI IDEO models have finally learned to lock down and actually control complex visual styles. We're going to see exactly how these models maintain a specific aesthetic over time, the tools creators are using them right now, and the pretty profound ethical questions that pop up when synthetic media becomes, quite literally, indistinguishable from reality. All right, let's take a quick look at our roadmap for today. We're going to trace the evolution of synthetic visuals, solve the consistency problem, figure out how to choose your visual engine, master character continuity, and finally confront the ethics of deepfakes and detecting synthetic reality.
Starting right off with Section 1, Evolution of Synthetic Visuals. It is absolutely wild to think that the mathematical foundation for today's hyper-realistic AI video boom actually started way back in 1906. Andrei Markov was just analyzing vowels and consonants. From those early text patterns, we jumped to GANs in 2014, which gave us that first taste of realistic image generation. Then came Transformers in 2017, totally supercharging the AI's ability to understand context. And now? Well, in our modern era, advanced diffusion models like Veo and Sora are using these foundational concepts to not just generate pixels, but to deeply understand and render incredibly detailed visual styles across time.
Moving right along to Section 2, solving the consistency problem.
Okay, so temporal consistency. This is, without a doubt, the absolute hardest problem to solve in AI video, because without it, your video just turns into this chaotic, morphing mess. If you've played around with early generators, you totally know the struggle. You prompt, say, a tabby cat in a garden, and by frame 10, it suddenly has 3 ears and is wandering through some weird alien landscape. That complete breakdown in visual style is exactly what held AI video back for years. You see, video isn't just a stack of images, it's a connected narrative. Every single pixel has to relate meaningfully to the ones before and after it to actually preserve the scene's aesthetic.
To understand how they fix this, think of the MovieEye framework. That's multimodal original video AI, like a traditional film set. These 3 distinct roles are entirely focused on locking down a specific visual style. First, you have the director, the scene parser, which breaks down your text prompt into a structured graph so the AI actually understands how objects relate to each other. Then, the temporal spatial attention mechanism steps in, kind of like a meticulous cinematographer. It looks at the spatial details in a single frame and the temporal flow across multiple frames at the exact same time, making sure the visual style doesn't warp. Finally, progressive video refinement acts as your post-production, iteratively enhancing the video from a rough draft all the way up to those fine, crisp details. This multi-stage process, it's the secret sauce that locks in a stable, realistic aesthetic.
Next up, Section 3, choosing your visual engine.
We are basically witnessing a massive showdown of visual engines right now, and the tool you choose fundamentally dictates your final visual style. If you want a video that looks like you literally went outside and shot it with a 4K camera, Google Veo 3.1 is absolutely leading the pack for pure photorealism and strict prompt fidelity. But maybe your visual style leans a bit more Hollywood. Think precise camera choreography, panning, trucking, that highly stylized cinematic feel. If so, Runway Gen 4.5 is the go-to for filmmakers. And then there's LTX Studio. They approach visual style like a storyboard artist, giving you extreme shot-by-shot control over lighting, character swapping, and scene composition.
All right, let's dive into Section 4, mastering character continuity.
Sticking with our film set metaphor, consider this your makeup and wardrobe department. Because when you're producing a serialized ad campaign or a music video, it's not enough to just have some generic person on screen. You need your specific character. Thankfully, tools are now integrating features like character locks and reference image uploads. Take Pix versus Character Lock, for example, which anchors your protagonist's facial structure, hair, and clothing. Without these tools, the model tends to drift. It might slowly change your character's eye color or just randomly swap their jacket between cuts, which totally shatters the illusion of a consistent visual style.
But here's the thing. You can't just rely entirely on the software to maintain your visual style. As a human creator, you have to practice some really strict prompt discipline. First, establish a detailed character sheet, a single source of truth that describes your character's exact traits. Then, you've got to use a fixed keyword order in your prompts. If you describe their face, then their clothes, then the action in shot 1, you literally must keep that exact same order in the next shot so the AI gets a stable identity signal. Finally, negative prompts are your best friend. By explicitly telling the AI what not to include, you drastically cut down the chances of random visual variations creeping into your carefully crafted style.
Which brings us to a heavier, but absolutely crucial topic, Section 5, the ethics of deepfakes.
This is an incredibly sobering reality. A staggering 96% of deepfakes online right now involve non-consensual pornography. When a technology gets this proficient at mimicking human features with flawless temporal consistency and perfect visual style, it inevitably gets weaponized. The source literature makes a really stark point. While we're out here marveling at the creative potential for filmmaking and education, the vast majority of deepfakes are actually being used to violate privacy and dignity, disproportionately targeting women. It's a harsh reminder that controlling a visual style isn't just some cool technical milestone. It has very real, profound human consequences.
And the damage definitely goes beyond isolated reputation attacks into high-stakes corporate fraud. Just look at this 2019 case, a whopping 220,000 euros in damages. Criminals used AI voice cloning to perfectly impersonate a CEO. It just goes to prove that when synthetic media perfectly replicates a specific person's cadence and visual style, our security systems and honestly human trust begin to fail.
But honestly, perhaps the most insidious side effect of hyper-realistic AI video is what experts call the liar's dividend. It's not just about people believing fake videos anymore, it's about people no longer believing real videos. Malicious actors can now dismiss undeniable, factual video evidence by simply claiming, oh, that's just AI generated. When the visual style of reality itself can be algorithmically cloned with zero artifacts, our basic trust in journalism, the justice system, and governments is fundamentally eroded.
Finally, let's look at how we fight back in Section 6, detecting synthetic reality.
So as generating these realistic videos becomes easier, detecting them is becoming a highly specialized science. Enter the robust Sora benchmark. Models like OpenAI's Sora typically embed invisible or visible watermarks to signal that a video is AI, right? But malicious actors are always going to try to remove them. This benchmark actually tests how good our detection models really are by intentionally feeding them AI videos that have had their watermarks systematically scrubbed out.
It is a complete cat and mouse game right now. Researchers are fighting to ensure detectors can distinguish between truly authentic, camera-captured footage and AI video that has been intentionally stripped of its watermarks to deceive us. In the early days, detection methods just looked for spatial artifacts, weird pixels or upsampling errors, but modern AI videos have such temporally consistent, flawless visual styles that those simple tricks, they just don't work anymore. Now massive multimodal models have to look for incredibly subtle spatio-temporal anomalies that completely escape the human eye. It's this ongoing, high-stakes battle between generators striving for the perfect visual style and detectors trying to find the mathematical cracks hidden inside that style.
So as we wrap up this explainer on the quest for the perfect frame, I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought about the future of our online safety. We've traced how AI learned to generate media, how it solved the puzzle of consistency to finally master visual style, and we've looked at the incredible creative engines available to us today. But as the visual boundary between synthetic and real completely evaporates, the question isn't just what we can create anymore. The real question is, how will we adopt our understanding of truth when seeing is no longer believing? Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive. Keep questioning what you see and keep learning.